Right, boys and girls, welcome back to another video. So today, I think what we're going to try and attempt to do is actually install the fuel setup. Not all of it, because I haven't got I don't know what AN fittings I need yet for certain bits. But I made a diagram. Some of you might have seen it on my Instagram story. Actually, I'll show you the original one first. This was the original one I made. If it focuses. But you got a fuel cell, pump filter, blah blah blah. You know, pretty whack, done in paint. And obviously I've done one in Photoshop, which a bit better. It's got all the line size and everything. If you can see, probably ain't gonna focus. But you got the fuel cell, you got the 10 AM fuel lines, you got the fuel pumps and filter, 6 AM return, 8 AM feed, regulator, fuel rail, plenum, vac line, and all that. Just the whole setup basically. So. There you go, you might be able to see better there. But I'll post a picture up on the screen so you sort of get the gist of what I'm actually doing. So that will come up now. Hold for 5 seconds. Boom, there you go, done. So what we're going to do is first is fit the regulator onto this. And then once I've got that in, I'm then going to move to the boot, the back of the car, and try and fit the fuel cell. I didn't actually need to cut out a massive hole in the boot for the fuel cell, so I may at a later date cut the whole boot floor out, get some sheet metal, get it all strengthened or whatever they do with that rolling thing, and get it re-welded and just drill 2 holes down to feed the lines through. I think that'd be a better idea because now my boot just looks trash. But you learn. So yeah, so I'm gonna set up the camera and then I'm gonna start installing the AM feed. I'll put all the shit on the desk and I'll show you what I've got so far. Right, so I'll run you through everything I got. So I did buy a spare fuel filter because I was actually gonna set up my own, I brought all of these. So if anyone actually wants this stuff, they're all brand new in the packet and stuff. It's for your makeshift external fuel cell, so you can have either 2 pumps and a filter, or 1 pump, 1 filter, and so on. So if you want that, just message me. I'll sell it cheap. But I managed to get this for a fucking steal. Sorry for my French, but this was cheap as chips. I literally could not complain at the price. So it's got 2 twin 044 Bosch pumps with a filter, which I may change to this one, but this has only done less than 2,000 miles. Obviously everything's set up, got the connectors and everything. I've got my AEM high pressure fuel regulator. I've got 10 AM feed from the fuel cell to the pumps. I've then got 8 AM feed all the way up to the fuel rail, which I believe is going into this. Then the return is coming out of here with the 6 AM all the way back to the fuel cell. I've got loads of P-clips and some nice screws to lock it all in nicely. Loads of little fittings. Don't know what some of these are. I just ordered loads and loads and loads. So some of these might be for other stuff like oil cooler, but I think, yeah, I don't know. But I'll have to go through them. But loads of fittings here that I got with, I think this kit when I first bought it came with hundreds of little fittings and stuff, so I may utilise some of these. Yeah, so that is the fuel setup. So obviously I'm going to mount this first. It comes with a little mounting bracket and some screws. There we go. So it comes with those and those. That's for that. And then obviously I just need to find a screw to actually bolt that to the engine. Don't think there's anything. There we go, sticker. So obviously I shall mount this first, so it fit nicely, and obviously that's for the vac line, I believe, that comes off the plenum. I think, I may be wrong, but I do believe so. So yeah, so I'm gonna mount this up quickly. I will record it over there. So that is it, and obviously then we get to mounting the fuel cell. Once the fuel cell's in place, which I'll be using these, and I've got some metal as well to strengthen the boot because the boot is quite weak now because I've cut that hole out. So these should be alright. I think I've checked. I think they do fit. I think they're M10. And also I just put 2 bolts either side, and that should stop the vibration. And obviously then I'll build the wood floor around the rear of it. It should look nice. But like I said, I might do the sheet metal thing in the future. So also, if anyone's wondering, I think this is just an AN8. What is it? AN8 fucking, why am I being retarded? AN8 fitting welded on to the fuel rail, and then I just, well, me and Sam drilled and tapped and put an AN6 fitting on the rear. obviously with like sealed up and everything. So this should be absolutely fine for the power I'm running. I know I keep saying I want to run 700, but obviously the first map is going to be like the first map, so it may only run 540 until I run in the engine and everything like that. So maybe less to start with, but then obviously we're up it and so on until it's safe. Yeah, so I'm going to set up the camera and work out how to mount the regulator. I have bolted these. It comes with like sunken screws, so it's nice and flush. And then I found the old bolt that I actually used to hold in this 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗹, and I think should fit. Might need a little drilling out actually, but only a tiny bit, so might give that a little drill out just so it fits nice and flush. And then I'm using the original bolt and it's the exact length, has that nice little gap, fit that perfect. So I'm just gonna drill that out and I'll come back. Right, so all fitted on, drilled out, it's 7.5mm hole, and I'm seeing a racket just up here. And it should keep it nice and tight and it shouldn't wobble anywhere. Okay, that is sturdy. Yeah. Perfect. So that's it nicely there. Back line will come off this onto the back of this, or wherever the fuck it's going from. I can't remember. Pretty sure it's off here somewhere, or the felt, but I don't know. Probably going back there. And then obviously the feed will come obviously from one of these, well, both these, etc. So we'll move to the boot now and try and set up the fuel cell, and then maybe try and mount the torque mount in the boot, and then that should set us up for when we need to fit into that. Obviously I'll test all the length and stuff as well, make sure that's all good. I've got to put the fuel rail in as well because I need to test that. So yeah, so I'll come back once I've got the boot cleared because there's a lot of stuff in there. Right, so I did a bit of marking up. So I put some white paint down, some blue pen. I just quickly drilled some 5mm holes. They need to be about 10mm for this, maybe 11. But the plan is to drill 10mm through there, put those in under, try and get a spanner to lock them in. So there, and there. These three are easy to get to, it's just this one. So I may have to put like a small ratchet or something there, but there is like a peg in the way, so I don't actually know how I'm going to do that, but we will find a way. So I'll set the camera and I'll just drill some holes and you can just watch me drill a hole essentially. Right guys, so that is the 10mm drilled out, as you can see. It's nice and tight, so I'm going to grab the other 4 and test fit this. So I'll be back in a second. So as you can see, it does fit nice and neat, but obviously the only problem is the size of that bloody gap. This is the problem why I thought I basically thought I was going to have the fuel cell sunken through, like halfway through, but obviously then where we cut, the chassis rail was in the way, so it's not actually going to sit sunken. So I've got 2 choices. I can either make this wider this way, or just refill up the gap and just have a little opening here for the fuel lines and build around it. That is probably what I'm going to do, just cut out this whole floor, so all the way across, and just pretty much from about here just have sheet metal. But obviously that's down the line. For now it's just about getting this done, but obviously I could find a way to seal this massive gap and it should be alright. I'll build something around it, like a box, like a Pyrex plastic box or something, but it's pretty sturdy. I just need to sort out a little razor for this, or a washer or something, because it's not sitting flush because this dips down. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. I just got to find a way to lock all the bolts in, and I feel like it should be pretty easy. So I'm going to try and attempt to do that now, and then I'm going to mount the torque mount underneath. Right, so this is all now mounted. I just need to find some washers and nuts for this, but obviously I'm going to be taking this in and out. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. And obviously then sort out the whole metal sheet and thing. I'll probably just put maybe one sheet of metal on that or something like that. And I've got obviously these supports to strengthen it, so I might use these as well. But we shall see, obviously close to time. I'm going to jack up the rear of the car now, and I'm going to try and mount. I just took it apart to see if this top bit comes off. It doesn't, so it looks like I'm just going to put. It did come with, if I can find it. Don't know where it's gone now, but like literally just one torque screw. So I'm guessing the other one fell out or missing, and it had some weird shitty bracket thing in this bit, so it held this bit together, this bit. But I think I'm just going to put one long screw through, mount into the car. I can rivet it. I've got a rivet gun and stuff, but I think maybe just for safety and stuff, I might just bolt it straight through the metal in the car. Or if there's a bracket that I can hang this off in under the car, I shall see. But I think that's probably the best bet, is just mount it to either an existing hole or onto the yeah, probably just either drill through or rivet. I don't know yet. I'll have a little look. But yeah, so a little bit weird. So yeah, sorry, there you go. This little bolt here, that was just sitting in there like that, and there was another bolt in there, and that was it. So don't actually know. I'm thinking maybe I could just put literally a bolt that goes all the way through with like that much length on the end of it, and I can just mount that into the car and screw it, and obviously underneath the wood in the car I can just like pop it open, unscrew it if I ever need to take this off. So that's an idea. And obviously the way the setup is, it's from the fuel cell into here, then it goes through the 2 pumps, down here, and then out this way. That's the flow. It does sit on that flow this way. So obviously that, so the way it's sitting on the car would be like this. No, sorry, like this, I believe. It will be sitting on the car like this. So imagine, you know, the bottom of the car here. So come from the fuel cell into here, through that, around that, out of this, and then back round to the front of the car, if that makes any sense. I think. I will double check with someone on this. So yeah, I'm going to try and jack up the car and see if there's any nice mounting spots for this. Alright boys, so bit of a weird one. So obviously I had to try and make this fit and not be too slanted. I think this sort of fits well. This is just temporary. I have got bolts sort of holding it in, but they're a bit like longer than they need to be. So I'm trying to find, I don't have a bolt long enough either to go through this whole thing first. So I'm going to order some of those, but that's how it's going to fit or sit. I feel like, I'm not sure if there's enough gap once. I'll have to test fit this again. But I think that's, obviously the chassis here don't actually move, so this gap here is not going to get any smaller, so that should be fine to run. Obviously then I can run my fuel lines like over this or around this, drill them into this or whatever, doesn't matter, it'll fit through nicely. So I'll put this on quickly, put that back in, if I fucking know how to. Yeah, that's fine. So put this on. You can see why now I'm regretting cutting the door, because it was not needed at all. So then I'll have, this one's going to be, I don't know which one's my return flow, I don't think it really matters, but yeah, so say this is my flow, it comes straight 90, down and in, through this, back out of this, around and down there. The return will just obviously go straight down to the front of the car on the return. So I'm going to try and measure up the actual length, or just ravel it out and see if that's enough. Because obviously it's got to go all the way down there, get pinned into the chassis so it all fits. I may do this tomorrow because it is around 6 o'clock right now, and I'm extremely hungry, so I'm dying for a pee, and I don't have a toilet down the garage. So I may cut this here, head home, and continue the rest tomorrow. So yeah, but we shall see. So I'll see you in the next clip. Alright, so obviously ignore the mess of this, but obviously again it's going to be cut out or well done. So that is the return, which I've now got to try and feed all the way down to the front of the car. So I'm going to do that off camera because that's a bit boring to watch and I don't know how I'm going to mount it. So let me do that first and I'll come back. Alright boys, so I ran it down, so it's going over the top of that. Obviously this will all be like plugged up, like done up. Goes up to just before the subframe, and then obviously then I'm going to put it through here, so it's behind the heat shield. So it would go like here, down to here, all the way up there. Oh. And then falling sort of like where the downpipe would be, sort of like coming through there. It's going to be as far away from the manifold as possible. And obviously there'll be heat shielding going around the back of this anyway. To here, into the regulator, across here, and then into this return here. Don't know how I'm going to mount it yet. Maybe a 90 over the top or something like that. Let's see what I can do. But yeah, so that is the return, pretty much done. I'm not going to mess about with anymore because I'm tired. It's almost, there you go, 6:38, so 20 to 7. So I'm going to pack up, go home, eat, chill, and then maybe start on this again tomorrow. And then, yeah, and then obviously order all the extra fittings to get the stuff done, because obviously we need like an AN10 fitting and all this sort of stuff. So yep, so that is that part. I am going to do it all in one video because I'm not cutting it out because there's no point. So I should see you in the next clip. Right guys, so I don't actually know where we last got to. I just finished work. It's probably been like 3 to 4 days since the last video. So I've ordered the correct 120-degree fitting because the other one I ordered came as a PDFE fitting. A blank for one of the 6 AM ports. I think this is AN8 to AN8 or AN8 to AN10 or I can't remember. But I actually found loads of parts in my fuel box up there that fitted my current torque and everything. Got the nozzles to come off of the pressure regulator, and I'm currently just remaking the bracket because where it was situated, the fuel cell and the pumps were too close together, so I couldn't actually get like any pipe in between. So I'm going to do that. And obviously the car, I've currently got a crash bar on, and I brought a BD Performance breather kit, so I've got that on. Just sprayed everything nice and black. So the front end of the car inside is looking alright, so things are starting to progress. I'm just gonna carry on drilling out these holes. I drilled at these, and also so I found these fittings in my box. So AN8 to AN10 off of that other, I had like a spare like fuel holder thing, and it fits perfectly. So I got that with a little cup washer. Haven't torqued these up yet because I'm still waiting for my spanner. Then AN8 to AN10 orb fitting with the hose of that car. So that there, and then obviously AN6 to AN8 with an AN8 like hose adapter as well. And I'm gonna sit this in the car facing that way. So the pipes coming out of the fuel cell, round and in, back out, and down the front of the car, and so on. Yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly drill this. Once I've drilled that, and I'll then take you over to finishing the return because I've got the pipe here, so hopefully that fits. Finish off the front and the fuel rail, and then I'll do then the feed. Fuck, we're talking about, sorry, it's a long day. So I'll catch you in a second. Right boys and girls, so this is my makeshift bracket. As you can see, nice and extended, you know, clear for the pipes. You want to put it through there, whatever, neaten out, whatever. But this will bolt into the side of the car. I found a hole in the boot where I know I want to mount it, so that is perfect. So I'm gonna jack the car up, get that mounted, I think, and then run. Actually, we'll do the 6 AM line first. We finished that because I'll show you what needs to happen. So we're gonna run. This is the return, which is down here. I still need to get a bunk for this, by the way, but that's the return down there. So that will go like a 90-degree out like that, or you know, some form or something. So let me set up the camera and fit these little nozzles to it, and then do the fuel rail as well because it's got the 120 fitting now. So let me set up the camera on the tripod and get to going. Right, so I've got my two AN6 to AN6 AWD fittings. So that's the return here. And obviously I'm putting the feed this side, I think. Should fit fine. That one there. So as I said, we will put this one in here. Do get milk shavings in there, it's always nice just to cut this. I've got some glass. Obviously, to get this like fully tight, I do need the tool. So for now, it'll just be that tight. That onto there. I don't believe this is in the way of anything, so this should work fine. As you can see, like, it's quite loose, so we will get that sorted after. That should mount nicely there, or go something like that, and I can have that there. So I'll just follow that natural line here. Yeah. So obviously we'll put this all into place soon. I do have a cable tied down and just holding it, so that there is the return to the fuel cell done. We'll jet the car up after and show you the complete return. And now we're just going to fit this 110-degree fitting onto the fuel rail. I'm just going to put the rest of the hose in. Right, so I wasn't actually that patient. I did use a set of things out there that doesn't matter, it's kind of hidden. I just need to get it in as far as possible because I don't know where it's actually going to fit without it being done correctly. But this is like sort of like the line-up section. So this will go on here, it goes above that injector there. I don't know why these are always so hard to get in. So it does need to sit like that. Let's see if this actually fits. I do have the fuel rail holes bolts here, so I'll quickly notch those in just to make sure it actually lines up. There you go, so it does sit quite snug, but nonetheless it does fit. See, then this will go down and under. That'll go behind the ECU holder and then into there, which I may put another 90 bend. Let me go see what I've got. So I managed to get a 90 fit on. It is actually quite snug though. It does sort of sit against this, but should be alright. If I ever need to move it, I can just put it off the branch bracket and so on. These are normally nice and tidy. And obviously I just need to make that into there, so I'll probably cut about there. Let me just get a pen to mark. So back behind there, there. So let me go cut that off quickly. Right, so that is all done. Again, like I said, they all do need tightening. This is just for like a rough layout of how it's going to fit. But obviously this can tag up behind there against the intake manifold, or sit here, or I can get a P-clip bracket, put the bolt through there, and so on, and hold it in, and that will fit absolutely fine. So now it is on to do the feed, I think, if I have time, because it is getting a little bit dark. So I'm going to go mount the fuel pumps at the back of the car, so I'll jack it up and I'll show you that part. Right, boys and girls, so I found this little hole right here. But I just realised how actually hard it's going to be for me to hold the pumps up and screw a bolt onto the back of it, so I actually don't know what I'm going to do. Because I don't have really long arms. The only thing I can think of doing is pushing the fuel cell and putting my arm through the back. But I've got to somehow then juggle it. Or, if you're smart like me actually, I'll use this to hold the pumps up with the bolt, pull the button and lock it in, hopefully. But we shall attempt and see what shall work. So you probably can't see much under it because it is very dark. But I've actually put a nut in there now. So hopefully, if I get a nice little twist on it. No, it's not going to work. Maybe I can.
2 hours later.
Oh, I didn't think it would be that close to this. It could still be fine though. Or I can have it this way and then just have a 90-degree bend going back. Right guys, so I have managed to try and get the camera up for a second. So I managed to sort out an AN10. I think I'm just going to have it this way. I do think I am going to maybe get a 180-degree fit in here. But obviously this will sit up there like that. To the, come back out here, down to the, and obviously then I'll P-clip all of this in. I'm going to now run this hose all the way down to the front of the car. I'm not going to record it because it's going to be the same as like doing the AN6 line, so I will come back once we get to the fuel rail. Right, boys and girls, so I didn't really finish the rest, but yeah, so obviously I am going to maybe finish off the video here, but obviously it's cable tied in for now, just hold it to see the length and everything. But it's all fed all the way around, back down it, so sorry, so ANA fuel feed, AN line all the way down, all the way under the car, all the way, if you can see the fuel pumps, fuel pump to the AN10 fuel cell blah blah blah, with a breather, AN6 return, obviously that goes again all the way down the car, all the way down here, up through the same hole, so yeah, so it's all linked up nicely. So I may end the video here. Obviously I am gonna like tighten everything up, so I'll maybe do that in a video, like just showcase it, but I think that is pretty much the whole fuel cell, because the rest of it is just gonna be like little fabricating bits, wiring and stuff, like just getting everything set up and done. So yeah, I think that is it for this video. If I don't include anything at the end of this video, because I'm unsure yet whether I might come back to this in another day, clean it all up and get a really good video of it, showcase it properly. But if I don't, thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it. Pin me any messages. Obviously I will leave the diagram in the description if you want to follow this for your setup. It may not be like correct, who knows, this may need tweaking, but it's just the fuel setup I've gone for so far. And I will be filling that hole up in a boot, so yeah. So cheers, so I'll see you in the next one.